When you hear about the greatest generation, you might think about the flying aces and the brave men who landed at Normandy. But you may not know that 1,800 women also joined the cause to become the first U.S. military's female pilots. Channel 9's Barbara West followed them from Florida to Washington, where they earned the Congressional Gold Medal.
Until recently, they were the forgotten women of World War II, the Women's Air Force Service Pilots, or WASPs.
They weren't sure back then whether or not women could handle the military life and the military aircraft. So we were started as an experiment.
At a symposium at the Fantasy of Flight Museum near Polk City, Bernice Haydu said the idea of female military pilots was so new, they were labeled as civil servants.
We had to sign a paper that if the experiment of women flying military aircraft was successful, that we would then become a part of the Army Air Forces. So when it didn't happen, we were very upset.
These pioneers didn't see the war as a chance to fight for women's rights. They saw it as a calling, to join the fight for their country, to do what they loved, to fly the fastest planes in the world, preparing those planes for combat.
An airplane knows no sex, has no idea whether a male or a female is flying.
With the help of Channel 9, Barry Smith joined a group of vets on a flight to Washington to see the World War II memorial. She lives in Avon Park, about an hour south of Orlando.
Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air.
Right after Pearl Harbor, she was earning $25 a week at the phone company when a letter from her brother, who was in the Air Force, changed her life.
You better learn to fly. They're taking women into the Air Force for the first time, but you've got to have 35 hours of flying time.
To land a job in the WASPs, she had to learn to fly on her own.
We paid our own way for every single thing.
These women were not allowed to see combat, but they did every other aviation job the Air Force could throw at them. Some trained male pilots. Others tested experimental aircraft and helped prepare planes for combat. And others ferried planes and troops wherever needed. The tomb of the unknown soldier reminded Barry of the 38 WASPs who died on duty.
The parents were notified if the girl was killed, and they would have to send the money to send the body back. And if they didn't have the money, if they were poor, then we would chip in to send the body back.
Deeds like that were not easy on their salary of only $3,000 a year, not nearly as much as male pilots who received full benefits too. 34 years after the war, the WASPs finally received full status as military veterans. And just recently, Barry and Bernice discovered they're getting further recognition.
Your story is such an inspiration to me.
Central Florida Representative Suzanne Cosmas and other women of Congress fought for the WASPs to receive the Congressional Gold Medal. Only about 300 of them are still alive.
The Congressional Gold Medal is not given very often, so it's a high honor.
Barry and Bernice appreciate the honor, but their greatest pride comes in knowing what they did for their country.
That was the most exciting part of my life.
Barry Smith never piloted a plane after World War II. She said the airlines would only offer her jobs as a flight attendant. On the 4th of July,